Welcome back to another episode of Talk with EMAS. I'm Alvin, and today I have a super special guest, Miss Laily. Hi, how are you?
Good, thanks. You?
I'm good today, thank you. What's your current activity, Miss Laily?
It's been a year since I decided to become an English freelance tutor.
Okay, that's nice. Thank you, for being here with me today. I'm so happy for that.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah. Alright, today I'm going to talk about a quite important topic, which is about teaching English for young learners. And primarily, I want to know your perspective and your experience about teaching young learners. Okay, but before that, for those who are still curious about EMAS, EMAS is an English course program provided by Kediri city government for all Kediri citizens. If you want to know more about EMAS, you can follow our Instagram at English Massive and subscribe our YouTube channel at English Massive Kediri. Alright, without any further ado, let's get started to the podcast. English Massive Podcast, Talk with EMAS. Hi, Miss Laily.
Hi, Miss Alfie.
Okay, as this is your first time here, could you please tell us about yourself?
Okay, hi everyone. I'm Laily and I'm an English tutor in Kediri. I used to teach in several institutions such as school and courses, but for some reason I chose to work freelance recently. And I like to spend my time reading novels and listening to the podcast sometimes.
Oh, that's nice. Reading novels and listening to podcasts, right? Maybe you can listen to our podcast. Talk with EMAS.
Okay.
Yeah, you will listen to our participants talking in our podcast. Yeah, thank you. As an English teacher, you're teaching students from different level. Can you please explain about that?
Okay, so at the beginning of my career as a teacher, I mostly thought a young learner because I started my teaching career when I was still in high school. And then most of my students are younger than me. When I was in college, I started to focus on teaching English because I majored in English education. And in the middle of 2017, maybe on July, I started teaching at a private school in Kediri city as a teacher. Long story short, a few years after, I had the opportunity to join a learning and teaching program at one of the courses in Kampung Inggris. And it was the beginning of me to teach the higher levels. As we know that there is not only the students who want to improve their English skills in Kampung Inggris. You also find people from many backgrounds and city come to Kampung Inggris to improve their English skill.
Wow, that's nice. So you teach many students, right? From young learners to young adult and also adult?
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. And in your opinion, which one is easier? Teaching young learners or young adult or adult?
Each level has its own challenges, but if you ask me which one is the easier one, I think teaching the young adult because they already know what they want and the attitude when they are learning. Besides that, it's not only us as a teacher, but they as a student can also adapt to the situation.
Okay. Right, I understand that because I'm a teacher too.
Yeah.
But here we're more focusing on teaching young learners. Maybe according to your experience, could you please explain what challenges have you faced so far during your teaching journey?
Personally, one of the challenges of teaching young learner level is the participant mood. Because you as a teacher must also feel that the participant moods does not only affect the teacher and the participant himself, but it can also affect the other participants. Sometimes it makes the class doesn't run as well as our plan. For instance, when the participants are tired after their activities, they can become sleepy. And then can be so sensitive when they get tired or sleepy. It can lead to fights between participants and so many other unexpected things happen in our class, right?
Yeah, I do agree with you, Miss Laily. And I think managing the class for young learners is quite hard things to do.
Yeah.
Because they're sometimes very talkative and sometimes they don't want to listen to the teacher and they just play around with their friends and do not pay attention to the material. So I think it's quite a big challenge to teach young learners.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. And next, I have another question for you.
Okay.
So you have told me about the challenges you have faced so far during your teaching journey. And now I want you to tell us what strategies do you use to teach them to face the students in the class?
Okay, actually for young learner class, I don't make lesson plans a lot because as you know that the class atmosphere is also unpredictable, right? But mostly I like to invite the participants to be more active than explaining the material, such as games or the other entertainment activities they want or they like. So I just prepare the material according to the schedule in a simple way, and then I'm looking for class activities to make sure the student grab the materials well.
So instead of explaining the material in front of the class, you prefer to give your students some activities?
Yeah.
Activities to do, like, can you give us the example? What activities that?
It's such a games.
Games? Wow.
And sometimes we test the participant understanding by that game.
Oh, okay. So you're doing a formative assessment during the class by giving them a game, yeah? Wow, that's amazing. And you know, our challenge as an English teacher is to make the participants get used to English. Like they're confident using English in their daily life. They're confident speaking in English in front of their friends. And I think it's quite hard to do because they just go to the class only 2 times a week or maybe only one meeting once a week. Only one meeting once a week, yeah. So maybe do you have any suggestions for parents who want their kids to be familiar with English at a very young age?
Okay, this is an interesting question actually. I ask this question a lot by my friends when they want to start introducing their children to English. In my opinion, to start introducing our children to any language, you can start it by introducing children to the language in a simple daily activities or conversation, especially at home. Because young learners spend more time at home than at school or other places.
Yeah, I do agree with you. That's why I'm asking you about what should parents do if they want their kid to be familiar with English. Alright, now do you agree or disagree that having a conversation with kids in English, even it's a very small conversation, will encourage them to learn more and maybe be more confident at English?
Absolutely yes, because having conversation with children will make children used to it, to even if it's just a simple conversation. And if the child is used to hearing or using the language, the child will not feel pressured when learning the language more deeply, either at school or at the course.
Okay, maybe do you have any simple examples of a small conversation between parents and their kid?
Okay, for daily conversation between parents and children, this can be done by getting used to simple daily instruction maybe when they talk to their children. For example, when you greet them in the morning, like say, "Hi baby, good morning," or maybe just ask about their day, like how are you, or maybe after they finish their activity at school, you can ask them how's their school, how's your day, and so on. Or if you want your children be used to talk about certain things around them, like object around them and the colors, you can simply ask simple questions such as what is that, what is this, and then what's the color of it, and anything else. And if they don't know the name of the object, you can tell them using a simple language such as it's a book, it's a desk, or the color is red or blue, and blah blah blah. I think by doing this, your children will be used to use English daily and be more confident to speak in English. I have another way. If parents like to read books or stories before their children go to sleep, they can read the story with their children and cast a simple question related to the book. For example, you are reading a book about the story of ant and the grasshopper, and in the end of the story, you can ask, who is looking for food for winter, or who can't find food during a winter, and etc.
Wow, that's amazing. All right, so as a parent, we can ask our kids a simple question in English, or maybe ask them a simple instruction in English daily to make them feel like they're more confident speaking English. Yeah, wow, yeah. Maybe if I had a kid, I will do that. I will.
So do I think. Because we haven't become parents yet, right?
Yeah, that's right. Okay. All right, then. That's why actually I also do that to my students in the class, to my young learners, students in the class. I sometimes give them all the instructions in English, and if they don't know, I will translate it in Bahasa. But it's just like what I said before, they just come to my class like twice a week. So I think they don't really get used to English, and they still feel not confident to speak in English. So that's why you can start doing that from home. Like if you're a parent, you can start giving your children simple instruction in English, or maybe simple question, or maybe just introduce your children to vocabulary around them, like object around them, objects in the house, objects in the bedroom, and so on and so forth. Thank you, Miss Laily.
Thank you,
This is
Miss
such a
Alfie.
great discussion. Thank you for coming to the podcast here.
Okay, my pleasure, Miss Alfie.
Alright, that's all for today, guys. I hope you learned a lot from our conversations here in the podcast. And see you again in the next episode of Talk with EMAS. Bye!